Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of imports done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 53% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you on the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To order, call 080-912-44449.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market? Expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of imports done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right, good evening and thank you very much for joining. Tonight we are going to be going to Ogun State, and we'll be in Ogun State, Oyo State, and Osun State. We'll be there for the next 3 weeks, the whole state. And I'm hoping it's going to be another interesting session as we look at this together regarding the West Africans, southwestern state of Nigeria. Southwestern state of Nigeria. If you're here to get this book, Build to Go Global, if you have to get this book, Build to Go Global, the book basically helps you to be able to pretty much. So sorry for the break in transmission. The risks that people face in trying to go into export business, and that's why this book was written, to be able to help individuals navigate those challenges and minimize the problem as much as possible. If you are here to visit our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade, this YouTube channel provides almost all the information you need as you think of going into export business, both on the import and export side, across different countries in Africa, giving you information on how to be able to do your export business in a very effective manner. If you want to get a link to this program also every week, you can join our Telegram channel. If you search for Africa Business Platform on Telegram, you'll get to find us on Telegram, and you can always join our Telegram channel. So we've been to different states of Nigeria. We've been to Abia, we've been to Adamawa, we've been to Akwa Ibom, we've been to Anambra, we've been to Bauchi, we've been to Bayelsa, we've been to Benue, we've been to Borno. We've been to Cross River Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Ekiti, Enugu, Gombe, Imo, Jigawa, Kaduna. We've been to Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa. Last week we're in Niger. For the rest of this month, that is today being 10th, 17th, 21st, we'll be looking at Ondo next week, Osun upper week, and the first Thursday in December, we'll be looking at Oyo State. That means December, we'll be looking at Plateau, Rivers, Sokoto, and Taraba. We have 5 Thursdays in December. So Sokoto, Taraba, and Yobe. And then we round up in January with Zamfara State. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we start discussing this state called Ogun State.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250, and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
All right.
Are you?
So we start with preamble, peculiarities, profile, potential, purchasers, proposal, and profit. Let's start with the preamble. Ogun State, a very interesting state, I must say, enjoying the benefit of having border with Lagos State, a huge benefit because people that could not get space in Lagos or targeting Lagos market decided to go and set up in Ogun State, which is very close to Lagos State. Ogun State can avoid dependence on federal allocation through export. Export can help Ogun State to boost the GDP. Export can help the state to create opportunity for SME to grow. Export can help the state to decrease dependence on domestic market. Export can help the state to earn export proceeds and grow revenue of the state. Export can help the state to make farming and rural life become more lucrative. Export can help the state to gain global market share and recognition. It can make a state become home of creativity and innovation, industrialization, catalyst for the state, job creation opportunity for the state. Job creation opportunity for the state, for the people in the state. It can help the state to know the value of the state competitive advantage, and Ogun State have that seriously. The state can lead the way for other states to follow, making the state to be independent of federal government allocation. And I'll be showing that for those of you that have been joining every week, you know that we try to use a particular product as an example, that the state can focus on it and the state can make money just focusing on that product. And sometimes the money they make can even surpass their budget. It can make the state to be independent of federal government. There are numerous incentives for exporters in the state, opportunity to maximize the state indigenous abroad, poverty eradication opportunity in the state. It can make the state to quit the league of state depending on wasting assets like oil. It can help to revive the economy of the state, slow down rural and urban migration, tax-free opportunity for the people in the state, utilization of the idle capacity of the state. It can make the state to be it can increase the viability of the state actually. Work creation opportunity for the state. Export can make the state to excel potential and find export can help the excel potential of the state, of the product found in the state rather, to yearn for more empirical competition and zero in on its area of strength. And by the way, every state in Nigeria have their area of strength. So what do you see in Ogun State today? And of course, what do you see in Nigeria? Do we see unemployment in Ogun State? Of course, there is unemployment. And we're not denying that fact, but we're just looking at the opportunity available in Ogun State. Are you looking at the challenge of poverty or the challenge of frustration? Looking at the level of inflation in Nigeria today, it can be very frustrating. You know, imagine we are trying to export a particular product. We have gone to discuss with the distributor. We are buying the product from, and we are going to go and buy it tomorrow, and they are telling us the price has increased by 500 naira, and we're buying several units. I mean, it's so unfortunate, but that's the situation of our country right now. And people are saying that, I got a report that's saying that the Nigerian inflation is over 50%, that the 20% being reported is very, 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 it's just been managing expectation because of the rate at which, in fact, people that sell stuff in the market will tell you the price of Indomie. I also want to export noodles, and the supplier is telling me the price. The price change pretty much every week or every 2 weeks. So the frustration is palpable. That's what I'm trying to say. The frustration is very palpable. Very, very palpable. Farming. That's the opportunity I think we need to begin to see. Opportunities in farming. Opportunities in mining. And opportunities in our population. Opportunities in farming. Opportunities in mining. Opportunities in our population. opportunity in farming, opportunities in mining, and opportunity in our population. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, then we begin to discuss further.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of imports done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right. So we're moving on now to peculiarities. Peculiarity of Ogun State. Ogun State refers to a gateway state located in southwestern Nigeria, created on 3rd of February 1976, as borders with Oyo State, as borders with Osun State, as borders with in the north, Osun State in the north, Ondo in the east, and Republic of Benin. and Republic of Benin. And Republic of Benin. It has Abeokuta as its capital, located in southwestern Nigeria. Ogun State covers 16,726 kilometers. It borders Lagos State in the south, like I said earlier, Oyo in the north, Ondo in the east, and Benin in the west. Ogun does have the highest number of registered universities in Nigeria. Ogun has 9 universities, with 5 new private universities also in the state. This state has an advantage. And the advantage of this state is the fact that the state is close to Lagos. The state also has a very vast landmass. The state also has a very vast landmass. Abeokuta is the center. Abeokuta, an important market center, is terminus of road and rails coming from Lagos. Another part of the country, major tourist attraction being Olumoro. The state has opportunity for investment in light manufacturing, healthcare, tourism, energy, mining, and ICT. Total landmass 16,400 kilometers. Local government, 20 local government. This is a very large state, but just 20, and Lagos is also having 20 local government. 20 local government. Male population 5.5. Female population, sorry, total population 5.5. Male population is 2.8. Female population is 2.7. It has tropical savanna as the vegetation. Major crops: maize, cocoa, oil palm, rice, cassava, cotton, solid minerals being limestone, bauxite, bitumen, timber, gemstone. Like I said, the state has a huge advantage being neighbor to Lagos. The advantage is such that it has a market where it can sell its product. Now, look at the advantage of this state. Access to largest road network with strategic link with other regions of Nigeria. Strategic link with other regions of Nigeria. Access to Nigeria and West African market. access to Nigeria and West African market, availability of 74% of arable land, 74% of arable land, home to 3 largest industrial zones in the country. Of course, there is gas. That's why a number of companies are located in Ogun State, because Ogun State have gas. Ogun State have gas. Ogun State have gas. Availability of gas, 65% for industrial purpose, 30% contribution to national solid minerals. 30% contribution to national solid minerals. A huge opportunity for this state, and with a lot of tertiary institutions. Investment opportunity abide for cassava, rice, maize, livestock, minerals, road rail, ICT, and of course, in health care. And of course, in health care. Let's move on a little bit into this state. The working population in Ogun State is 3.7 million people. 3.7 million people. Those not working is 1.3. Now, you can see the huge opportunity of this state ab initio, but look at the number of people not working. Number of people not in labor force. Even those in labor force, 2.3, only 1.7 work for 40 hours that you can describe as being gainfully employed. This is just talking about the level of unemployment in the country, which is a general phenomenon. So we'll go on a break. When we come back, we then begin to talk about the profile of the state.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Okay, let's look at the profile. Let's check out this state called Ogun State. Ogun State IDR was 50.75 in 2020, and the federal allocation is also 51.44. This is very sad for a state like Ogun State, with huge opportunity to be able to generate a lot of income. The federal allocation plus the internal general revenue are the same level as at this time. The debt is increasing, stood at 192 billion as at 2020, stood at 192 billion naira as at 2020. Of course, that includes both domestic debt and, of course, foreign debt. Foreign debt being $103 million and domestic debt being 153 billion naira. Let's look at Ogun State very well. Ogun State, IGR, 50-50, 50 IDR, 51 FAC. But look at the spending of the government. Just look at the spending of the government of the state. You will notice something there. You will notice that 92% operating expense. You know, sometimes you wonder how some governors spend actually. And these are just reflection of individuals who are in government. Because if 75% of the expenses, operating expense, the one that ordinary man will be able to benefit from, which is capital expenditure, road, bridges, and the like, is just a mere 24%. This is so sad. Like I said, Ogun State have a lot of opportunity because of proximity to Lagos and having a very large land mass, but this has not been maximized. But it's not just Ogun State that have this issue. We look at Niger last week. Niger is the largest state in Nigeria. I think about 1/10 of Nigeria. I mean, that state is so massive, yet in deep poverty. What does budget have to say about Ogun State? Budget said, according to budget, the gateway state emerged 19 in physical performance ranking, down 16 places from third position in 2020, down 16 places. This steep downward slide was driven mainly by a significant decline in IGR, which fell by 28% from 70 to about 50 in 2020. The components include road tax, MDA revenue, direct assessment, and other taxes. Witness a downturn except for income of payee, all of them, except for payee, witness a downturn, which increased marginally by 4.65 from 24 to 25. This makes the state one of the 18 states in the country that were not resilient enough to survive COVID-19 induced fiscal shock to their internally generated revenue. Nevertheless, the state still had the second largest IDR in Southwest region, behind Lagos, and had the 5th largest in Nigeria. However, it is not good enough given the population size, given the diverse potential, economic potential of Ogun State. It's not, Ogun State is not harnessing the opportunity at all. And total revenue fell by 44.6% from 195 in 2019 to 109.12 in 2020. IDR accounted for 46.51 of its total revenue in 2020, while remaining balance 42.61 came from the statutory allocation of VAT. So this state is heavily dependent on Abuja, even though the state has what it takes to be independent. Ogun State cut its capital spending by 30% from 35 in 2019 to 30 in 2020. The state capital expenditure per capita stood at 5,120. This is lower than the country average, which is 8,000. It ranks 7th most indebted state out of 36 states in Nigeria, with total debt stock at about 192 billion in December 2019. Domestic debt, 142, and external debt from 100 to 103 million dollars. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll then begin to look at my major focus every week, which is the potential opportunity in the state and how the state can generate income from export.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right.
Are you think
Potential. Its natural resources include an extensive fertile soil suitable for agriculture, talking about Ogun State and mineral deposits. The climate and soil of the state are suitable for cultivation of a wide range of crop, from rice to maize. That's why you have a father rice in Ogun State. Rice, maize, cassava, yam, banana. The main cash crop include cocoa, kola nut, rubber, palm oil, palm kernel. Ogun State is the largest producer of kola nut in the country. It also produces timber and rubber on a large scale. 20% of the area of its total area is constituted for forest reserve, which is suitable for livestock. The state has enormous industrial potential. This industrial potential of Ogun State is not in doubt. Enormous industrial potential. It has natural resources, manpower, and geographical proximity to Lagos, which make it a potential industrial zone to the nation. Its extensive limestone deposit, according to the scientists, can last for 500 years. No wonder they have a lot of industry using limestone to produce different products in Ogun State, actually. 500 years. The multi-million naira cement factory in Shagamu is the largest cement factory in West Africa. Both this factory and Ewekoro cement factory depend on the local limestone. Other mineral resources available include chalk, phosphate, that's chalk is sodium carbonate, high quality stone, gravel for construction work. There are also other modern industry, including high quality beer, bicycle tire, ceramic goods, high quality clay brick, carpet, and clothing materials. Agriculture, the economy mainstay of Ogun State, produce rice, corn, cassava, yam, plantain, banana, cocoa, kola nut, rubber, palm oil, palm kernel oil, tobacco, cotton, timber. Just imagine that a state like Ogun State is still depending on federal allocation. Those that will be voting for governorship in Ogun State, we need to ask critical questions in this election. Don't let these people just come and tell you they will do this, they will do that. Let's ask them a question. How will you do it? You know, each time I look at even the presidential aspirants, as they talk about what they will do, they just talk about the schools they will build or the hospitals they will build. Sincerely, not much is being said about the difficult question, how will you make the money? Some people will say, okay, they will reduce corruption, that's okay. Reduce leakage, that's okay. How will you generate more income? Nigeria need more revenue. These questions are not being asked. And these guys don't seem to have clue. And they're going to lead us for another 4 years. Lord have mercy. The Aro granite quarries near Abeokuta, the state capital, provide building material for much of southern Nigeria. Mineral resources include limestone, chalk, phosphate, clay industry, produce cement, canned food, foam, rubber, paint, tires, carpet, aluminum, product, and plastic. Major crop include maize, cocoa, palm, rice, and then, of course, solid minerals include bauxite, limestone. And if you have been following me, you notice that I don't even mention so much on solid mineral. Even though I know there's huge opportunity there, I just focus only on agri. Imagine if we are to consider solid minerals also. Just imagine that opportunity. Just imagine that opportunity. Just imagine that opportunity. Who are the purchasers of this product? corn, for example, with a huge opportunity in that sector, even though Nigerian government prohibits export of corn, the state government can produce more and seek for exemption. And the state government can get it because he's doing it for his people. Because the goal actually is to help local industries. And if you are producing well enough, if we are producing well enough, which the state can facilitate, we can export corn. Imagine corn value. Just imagine that. Just imagine, look at the value. 36.3 billion. What's the budget of the state? From Japan to South Korea to Vietnam, there's huge demand for this product. Even in Africa, there's a $3.7 billion market, even within Africa. So that means in exporting corn, don't go too far, don't look too far. There is opportunity right under your nose. There's opportunity right under your nose. Don't go too far. Let's look at the next product, rice. Rice is a very interesting product for me. And the reason why rice is very interesting and fascinating is because $24 billion market of rice. See Benin Republic. And I like to use this example a lot. What is the population of Benin? You and I know exactly what is going on there. I'm sure you know what is going on there. I'm sure you know who are those that are consuming those things they say is going to Benin. It's December now, and a number of those rice are going to escape into Nigerian market. Those rice are going to escape into Nigerian market. Those rice are going to escape into Nigerian market. But Nigeria have what it takes to export rice. If their support is given, Iran is a major market. China is a major market. Saudi Arabia is a major market, and a number of other markets that we can explore around the world. And a number of other major markets that we can explore around the world. So look at the import of rice in, each time I look at this, it's just laughable. But I mean, it's an obvious issue. I mean, that look, obviously, this country, and I'm talking about, by this country, I mean Benin, cannot be doing 12%. And I mean Benin alone. Benin alone doing 12% of import into Africa. Of course, we know that is not true. Of course, we know where it's going through. We know it's coming to Nigeria. Let's move on to cassava. Cassava, these are low-hanging fruits that we can explore for opportunity within this state. No doubt Ogun State has what it takes to survive. Ogun State has what it takes to be independent. Ogun State has what it takes to be able to do without federal government allocation. But will Ogun State ever be independent of federal government allocation? I don't think so. And the reason is simple. The reason is because Ogun State is dangerously, and I'm using the word advisedly, dangerously dependent. Dangerously depending. Dangerously depending on federal government allocation. Dangerously depending on federal government allocation. I don't know how that will change. I don't know how that will change. Maybe if the people begin to ask questions and we have governors who really are ready to work, maybe we can change the story in Ogun State. $2.1 billion market. In Africa, the market is very small in Africa, just about $19 million. Look at cocoa beans. You know, each time anybody wants to come into export, most of the time, they will tell you they want to do cocoa. And I always tell them, the reason you want to do cocoa is not because cocoa really have the potential as you think. Now we can see that there are a lot of other products with better potential than cocoa. But because cocoa was what we started with, we have done cocoa for many years, it looked like we don't want to leave this cocoa business. I'm not saying we should stop exporting cocoa, by the way. I'm only saying that there are a lot of other opportunities for us beyond just depending on cocoa. From here it's obvious. In as much as cocoa is desirable, but cocoa is not good enough for us as a country. It's not good enough for us as a nation. Good enough in the sense that there are other products that can help us make much money. Look at it, 9.5 billion. You know, sometimes when I look at this, it just tells me that sometimes if we just work with data, maybe there are some things we'll probably not even look at all, because they are not worth our time. I'm not saying we should stop cocoa, like I said. It should be cocoa and others. And the and is plenty. There's so many other things within the and area. Look at in Africa, 54, because we produce 75% of that in the world. Then palm oil, low-hanging fruit, palm oil. Another major source, potential source of income from Ogun State. Not just Ogun State, majority of the southeastern states in Nigeria, we do a lot, we make a lot, we generate a lot. If Nigerian southeastern states can really take a second look at this palm oil, 29 billion. Just imagine that. No, just imagine that. Palm oil, 29 billion. And the largest exporter are Thailand and Indonesia. Sorry, Malaysia and Indonesia. And I heard Malaysia pick up their seedling from Edo State in Nigeria. Even in Africa, the demand is 4.28 billion. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I'll make my proposal to Ogun State, and then we'll round off with how Ogun State can generate profit directly from export.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
What is my proposal to Ogun State? Remember that Ogun State produce corn, cocoa, oil palm, rice, cassava, cotton. So let's take one of these products. Let's take cocoa, for example. If an SME is the one that is doing production, that's agri, then it's the same SME that is doing harvesting, the same SME is doing transport, the same SME is doing primary processing and storage, the same SME is doing secondary processing and packaging, the same SME is doing marketing and sales, logistics, export. If the same SME is doing this, do you know what it creates? Inefficient, even if it's different SME, but they are all SME, inefficient value chain operator, low processing capacity and low output, few job creation, low quality and packaging, high cost of production, high cost of production. non-competitive product in the export market. Now, let's imagine if for cocoa, we have a company that if I take my cocoa to, it will process my cocoa to chocolate or to butter or to cake. Then I look for market. This large corporate has all the certifications. It will brand my product for me in my brand. It will produce. So when I'm coming to pick up, I pay per carton or per unit because it's going to process and package for me. And it's a common facility processing center that produce for different businesses. That is going to grow SME1. So because there will be more demand of SME2 from SME1 and SME2 take it to this large corporate. You know why it happens? You have efficient value chain operator. You have high processing capacity and output, good quality packaging, low cost of production and competitive products in the export market, increased job creation, decrease inequality, and decrease insecurity. Enough to support exporters in this state, Ogun State, to enter in the export market in Africa, Europe, and America in a secure and sustainable way. The state can partner with representatives at destination to market and secure contract, or set up a warehouse where their product can be picked up by written and also at destination, or get an agent and display at destination, or partner with an independent display at destination, organize and sponsor their manufacturers for exhibition in the export market. Now, having spoken about how the state can help their citizens, can we discuss how the state can profit directly? Let's use cocoa for example. Arable and Ogun State, 643,000 hectares of land. Let's assume 30% of that is being cultivated for cocoa over a period of 2 to 3 years. Annually yield per hectare can be 1.5 metric tons. Possible yield, 289,000 based on that land mass. At 2,451 times the total, we can generate about $709 million, which comes to 294 billion. When you remove the cost of farming, the cost of farmer, because the state support farmer to produce this and pay the farmer for the services they render, because it can be managed by individual and the state fund that process, and everything produced come to the state. Everything produced come to the state. But the people that are involved in the export, involved in the farming, involved in the labor, everybody is paid. The state can still generate 265 billion. Remember, this year, the budget of this state is 351 billion. You know, sometimes when you hear the budget of a state that the total earning is less than 150. It's having a budget of 350. Is it just to have a budget for the sake of having budget, or because the state really want to implement the budget for the progress of the people? How can the state do this? The state partner with a private organization who is going to organize the farmer into cooperative. The state provides the support as usual. This organization that the government formed with a private organization called the Special Purpose Vehicle can issue a purchase order to the farmer to buy what they produce, give them a guarantee to buy off everything they produce. The state can provide training and input to the farmers, get a collection center where this product is going to come after harvest, then clean, package, get buyer abroad, ship the goods, present document, get payment, pay all the farmers and everybody involved in the chain, including their partner, and we say have more than enough to take care of the state needs. The impact of this model for state government go beyond generation of revenue via export. It has humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective and efficient and enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by federal government at the federal level for the exportation of solid minerals. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll call it a day.
Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right. Next week, we are moving to Ondo State. That happened to be my state. That happened to be my state. We are moving to Ondo State next week. Let's see what Akeredolu has done. At least it's been there before COVID. Let's see what Akeredolu have done. We'll be looking at that next week.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 33% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you?
All right. If you're going to get the book Built to Go Global, this is a book that helps everyone that wants to go into export business to be able to a large extent, minimize their risk and prevent a repeat of the error that people that have gone ahead of you have made. You don't need to make the same error that people have gone ahead of you have made. So the goal of this book basically is to help you to be able to prevent yourself from making exactly the same mistake or the same error that those that have gone ahead of you in this field have made. You can join us on YouTube. You can get access rather to this program on YouTube channel. The program is recorded and you can always go back and play it afterwards to be able to know exactly, to be able to get to know detail about other states. And of course, maybe you want to tell some of your friends to be able to have enough information to ask their governor critical and very important question in this election season. Remember, you can get the link to this program on our Telegram channel, African Export Business Platform.
Are you a retiree? Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted templates for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 33% discount, call 080 912 44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you on the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you thinking about to maximize export opportunities in Africa under the AfCFTA? Are you looking for where to get a detailed export market information for almost all African countries? Are you looking for the item of import in different African countries and the value of import done by different countries? Then visit the African Trade Intelligence Platform via the globaltradetutor.com. You can have access to all this information every month for just $20 only. For more information, call this number or send an email to the email address below.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to join today. See you next week. Have a wonderful week.